everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Nazia Zuan here from Zuan's Beauty Blog, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial based video. It's one of the most highly requested video to do a base makeup tutorial that will be very long lasting and full coverage which will withstand a wedding party or any other party for a very long time. So that's what I'm gonna show you guys today. I'm gonna do the base makeup part here, and if you want to see the tutorial of the eye makeup too, I'm doing it as a part of my Pinterest project. You can check my Instagram, I'll link it down below too. I think the tutorial of the eye makeup will be going up first, so yes, do check it out. But today I'm going to be sharing most of my tricks and tips that I know about how to make the base makeups very long lasting and very full coverage. So that's what I'm gonna be sharing with you guys today. I hope you enjoy and keep on watching. So first things first, you're gonna have to take care of your skin really well. If you're not prepping your skin really well, you will not have a perfect base, you will not have a good base, and your base will look cakey or sometimes it will flaky if your skin is dry. And if you have oily skin, the makeup will just simply fall off if your skin is not properly prepped. So for prepping my skin, I have combination skin and I tend to get dry in all the sides of my areas, and then on the center of my face I get very oily. Not very, actually, it's normal, it's okay, I can deal with that. But the dryness is not okay. It gets very dry, it gets flaky, and winter is coming, so so my skin gets more dry. So yes, you need to take some extra steps for this. So for a good base, I'm gonna start off with my skincare that I normally use. That is this. I'll start off with, it's the Body Shop Drops of Light Pure. It's an essence lotion. What it does is, since I have a dry skin, it will help absorb the moisturizer back into my skin. It does not work like a toner. Don't think that essences are a substitution of toner. They're not. They're basically for absorbing or adhering the moisturizer that you're going to be putting on your skin much more better. So I use this. I use like 4 or 5 drops on my skin and then massaged it. Then I went in with my night cream. Now this is a crucial step. If you have oily skin, you can skip this one and use your regular toner, something like an oil controlling toner. Alright, don't use one of those cleansing toners. Use the oil controlling toner or a mattifying toner, and then go in with the moisturizer. I use a heavy moisturizer since I have dry skin. This is my night cream. This is the Garnier Shakura White Cream. But if you have oily skin, then you should be using a gel based moisturizer. A good one is this Body Shop Vitamin C moisturizer. You can also use the Neutrogena Hydro Boost, I believe it's called, or the Body Shop Seaweed moisturizer. These are all really great moisturizers for oily skin type. So I actually use this on daytime and I use this on night. This suits me better when I'm doing heavy makeup because it keeps my skin very moisturized. Now another crucial step is you're gonna be putting a lot of things under your eyes, like concealer, powders and everything. So since concealer is a little bit heavier, they tend to get cakey and creasy first in this area and here. So what I tend to do is take an eye cream. I have this Clinique All About Eyes eye cream. This is the mini version and I've been using it for a long time, but I have a lot to go through still, so mini one can get you a long way. So I'm using this under my eyes and over my eyes, a little bit of an amount, and I used this already. I applied it on my face, so I used this finger and just gently tapped on my skin. You're gonna have to make sure you don't tug or pull your skin because it will cause wrinkles, and also put it around my mouth, around this area. So since all the prep is done, let's get started with the makeup. Alright, we're gonna be starting off with the primer, and for primer I'm gonna be using the Benefit Professional one and the mini version of Hourglass Mini Veil Mineral Primer plus Broad Spectrum SPF blah blah blah. I haven't tried this one yet, so I'm gonna be doing it for the first time. So first I'm gonna take this, and this is a nice spatula. Not too much, but well, I guess that's too much, but sound. Alright, so I'm gonna massage it in my whole face. Oh, it feels very soft. Like it's very velvety and soft and smooth. I like it. So for some extra pore filling, I'm gonna be using this one, and this I'm gonna use just on my T-zone where I think I have pores. I think, because I'm not sure if they're pores or whatever. I just want to make it a little bit more smooth. Just this much. Alright, so that's done. For foundation today, I'm gonna be using the MAC Studio Fix Fluid and the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD High Definition Longwear Illuminating Foundation. So this is in the shade, the MAC one is in the shade NW35, which is a lot darker than me. I got this shade masked when I was like really tan, and I'm an idiot. So now when I apply this alone on my skin, I look like an orange Oompa Loompa. But when I mix it, and this, of course, when you buy a foundation from Bangladesh, they're gonna shade match it like 3-4 shades lighter than you, so this is very light for me. So when I mix these two, it creates the perfect match. So a lot of people in Bangladesh look for yellow undertone based products or foundation, but I actually prefer the peach tones because it actually cancels out the darkness on your face and it looks better on your skin. Like it looks youthful and it looks a part of your skin when you're using the yellow undertones. And if you're not really yellow undertone, because a lot of people aren't, but I see everyone looking for the yellow undertones, a lot of people, and so when they use it, it looks very ashy on them. Like if I use a yellow undertone foundation, which is 2-3 shades lighter than me, it will look very ashy on me, and people tend to go very light on foundation in Bangladesh, and that's why it turns out to be so ashy. So I'm gonna start off with these two. I'm gonna take equal portions of both. Since I'm extra, I'm gonna be using 3 different sponges. These 2 are from Makeup Revolution. This is from Juno & Co. Now, of course, disclaimer, don't come at me. You don't need 3 different sponges. Of course not. No one does. But I need it because I'll explain the reasons to you. I'll be using this for my face mostly. I'll be spreading it out and I'll be evening everything out with this, and later on I'll just go on top with this to get rid of the excess foundation that's on my face. And for this one, I'm gonna be actually using all the powder products, like the powder that I'm gonna be using for baking my face, and maybe cutting my, you know, the thingy that they do for the contour. I don't know what it's called, the beard thing, the beard contour, I don't know, reverse contour maybe, I'm not sure, but whatever it is, like this sponge helps it blend better. So why not use just one for the powder and the liquid products? Well, when you use the liquid product and then you go in with the powder, and then if you need to blend the concealer or blend the powder again, this is going to create a layer on top of the sponge, and your sponges are going to get like ruined faster. But if you use 2 different sponges, it's gonna take a lot less. I'm gonna be blending the foundation up to my neck and explaining some things. As you saw, I mixed 2 types of foundation. One is a matte foundation, which is the Studio Fix, and the another one is the LA Girl, which is illuminating. But I mixed 2 because I have combination skin, and personally I feel no matter what skin type you are, if you mix 2 types, the skin looks better. Like if it's all matte, then it will look very flat and not skin-like, and also if it's very dewy, it's gonna look very greasy. I prefer it when there's 2 different formula going on because it looks better in my opinion. So after you've blended out the first layer, you're gonna make sure that you're pulling the foundation up to your hairline like this so that it blends better, and also blend your ears, and most importantly the sides of your nose, like here. If you don't blend that, it's gonna look very bad. Then what I'm gonna do is on this sponge. Now this sponge has a specialty that it does not absorb the foundation. It has all the foundations on top of it, so when you need to blend it out, you can again. The next one I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this Makeup Revolution Pro Fix Illuminating Fixing Spray. You can take any other illuminating fixing spray if you want. The Cover FX one is really good, and I really like this one too. So so I drench this in the spray and then I go on top of my foundation like this. See, as I did that, it looks a little bit more glowy. Like it already looks like I have highlighter on, but I'm not, so it looks more like my skin. So my foundation is on and it might look like it's not enough, but it will, once you lay down all your concealer and your powder and etc. Another crucial part of your makeup is to get it flawless is to know when to do what, like what to do after what. If I go and put on my concealer and set my face and then do my brows, what I'll have to do is, after I've set my eyes, I'm gonna have to conceal my eyes again, because prime my lids, and then conceal underneath my brows, which I'll have already powder over there. So if I conceal my brows after that, it's gonna grab onto the concealer and create a mess over there. So I'm gonna go on, before using concealer or setting my face, I'm gonna go on and do my brows. And since I'm doing a very heavy base and a heavy makeup, I'm gonna be going in with my Bobbi Brown gel liner. So usually when I'm doing a lot less of a base, like not very heavy, then I usually use the powder, brow powder. And if you're doing a natural look and if you're doing not such a heavy look, then I would suggest you use a brow powder like this that I use regularly, or right now I'm going to be using a pomade. It is actually a gel liner, but it works really well as a brow pomade too for me. So the most important part of brow is concealing underneath and the upper part. So I'm going to take the Makeup Revolution concealer in the shade C8 and I'm gonna clean up my brows. Wait, why don't we turn it into a Q&A? We can ask people what they want to know. Alright, so I have asked some questions. I've kept a poll open on my Instagram stories that you can ask me any questions regarding a full coverage, long-lasting makeup tutorial. And people are asking me questions and I'm gonna be applying the concealer and answering some of the questions that are being asked. So I'm using the same concealer, the Makeup Revolution C8, and I'm gonna be using liberally, but not too much. That doesn't make any sense, I know, but try not to go too overboard with the concealer, but also do not use a light amount. I don't know what I'm saying. Most of the time when you're applying concealer and over the top, people tend to miss this part. Do not, because this is the darkest part usually. Now I'm gonna take the Juno & Co sponge and again drench it with the Makeup Revolution Illuminate spray and then go in. So what it does, it's incorporating the setting spray into your skin, into your makeup. Like usually you use setting spray on top of your skin at the end of the makeup, and this, by doing this, you're incorporating it in every step. So it's setting your makeup in every step, so it's usually making it more long-lasting. I learned this technique from Jaclyn Hill. It really does make the base product long-lasting and more dewy and youthful looking. Alright, so I'm gonna check one of the questions what people want to know. Alright, Nadiha Almas asked which highlighter is best. Which highlighter is best? It actually depends on your skin tone and skin type. For me, like I'm medium skin tone, and Maybelline Master Chrome is for me the best highlighter there is. You can also try Ofra, Jeffree Star, and I think Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy. So they're all really good. It depends on skin type and skin color, which one is the best for you. I'm gonna take the sponge that has no product in it and blend out the concealer one more time. It's gonna make sure to remove the excess product from my face, since this has no product on it. So with the sponge, I'm gonna be dabbing it on my smile lines one more time and using the setting spray, and I'm gonna dab it onto my smile lines because I tend to crease. I don't usually crease under my eyes, I crease the most here, so I'm gonna do that. I know my under eyes are looking a lot bright right now, but it's gonna be alright once we have done the bronzing on the rest of my face, and it's gonna look better. Let's see another question. So 123 Zara asked, Apu, can you give some tips for oily skin makeup? So for oily skin makeup, what you can do is use mattifying products before you start your makeup, like your skincare products you use. And then when you're using the base products, I would suggest not to use an illuminating spray. I would suggest you use MAC Fix Plus. It's not illuminating, but it's not mattifying either, so it's gonna set your skin, set your base products well enough for oily skin. And make sure to use the matte foundation more than the dewy foundation, because it will look better on your skin. And if you're way too much oily, like you feel like it's very oily, your skin type, then I think it's better if you skip the dewy looking foundation and just go on to the matte one. So Ramiza asked best foundation and concealer for dry skin. So if you have dry skin, I would suggest using the glowy products. If you're willing to spend a little bit more, I would suggest the NARS line. I'm buying it within a month. I'm very excited. So I'm buying the NARS Sheer Glow, or the NARS Radiant something, I forgot the whole name. It had the word radiant in it. So NARS Sheer Glow or NARS Radiant foundation is really good for dry skin types. And also the NARS concealer, which is the Radiant Creamy Concealer, is also really good for the dry skin. And if you want to go drugstore, if you don't want to spend that much money, this Elegirl Pro Coverage foundation, which is the illuminating one, is really good for dry skin. Also the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow is very good too. They're all full coverage, also give a really nice dewy finish. But the most important thing will be skincare. Once again, you can't have a good base without a good skincare. So make sure to prep your skin well and take care of your skin first. So I'm gonna now blend my concealer one more time, as it might have creased a little bit by the time, and go into my powder. Now, why I'm using another foundation sponge for powder? So see, if I use this sponge or this sponge, it has products in it. So if I tap on the powder will set here, and then when I will be again using it, it will form a layer. So I don't want that to happen. So I keep my powder product sponge and my liquid product sponge separate. You don't have to, but you will be increasing the longevity of your sponges if you do it. So I'm using the Coty Airspun, so one of the more cheaper alternative to Laura Mercier. In my opinion, Laura Mercier is the best full coverage, like translucent powder there is. But if you don't want to spend that much on just powder like me, then you can use this Coty Airspun or the RCMA one. But RCMA gives horrible flashback, but this does too, but a little bit less. If you want a long lasting base for your makeup, then I would suggest not to go crazy on the powder. People go crazy and use a lot. Don't do that. It will ruin your makeup. So what I like to do is first take this much and then tap off the excess, and then just press. See, it's still really wet, so it's gonna be pressing the powder onto the skin. Again, take the powder, tap and press onto the skin. Make sure you do this to your eyes and the powder gets here too, because that's where the creasing is the most. So as you can see, I've applied a little bit extra powder on my skin underneath my eyes. The rest of my face, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna take the powder, tap off, and then take it on the palm of my hand, which takes off more powder, and then go into the rest of my face. What this will ensure is I'm not losing all the glowiness from the foundation, and it still looks like skin and not a powdery mess. Well, I'm just gonna stipple the powder all over my skin. If you're not comfortable working with a sponge, then what you can do is grab a big fluffy powder brush and swirl onto the powder, tap off the excess, and just go onto your face. Gently, don't go ham, just gently graze onto your face, tap off the excess, and just go. What pressing the powder, I would prefer this method than this, because it's just lightly putting the powder on top of your skin, but when you're applying it with the sponge, it's gonna be pressing the sponge onto your skin. So this method is much better, and it melts the powder onto your skin. So I would suggest using the sponge. If you're not used to it, practice it. So now I'm going to take a little bit more of the powder and then blend it on the neck. Usually the neck gets creasy a little early than the face, so you want to make sure the neck is well set too. You can use a lot of powder as much as you want here. And one more thing I want to suggest is, if you're someone with the age of 45 and above, I wouldn't recommend using a loose powder. A lot of people make this mistake. The more wrinkles and fine lines you have on your skin, if you use a loose powder, it will get on those cracks and make it look more cakey. So I suggest not to do that. Let's see if there are any more questions for me. Sanjida asked, is there a way to make the foundation stay on the nose? Usually it rubs off first. Acha, so that's a really good question. So the nose is the part where your foundation will go off first. So if you rewind back to my video where I was applying my foundation, you will see I did not take any product and put it on my nose, the foundation especially. That's because the more I put on, the more it will rub off. What I did was, when I was blending the rest of my face out, the extra that remained here, I just pulled it and then blended it on my face. That's all I did for this, nothing else. And another one is, if you have bumps on your nose already, like whiteheads, blackheads, it's gonna interfere. If you have clogged pores, it's gonna interfere and it's gonna cause the foundation to be raggedy and it's gonna come off first. So you want to make sure your skin is clear when you're doing a heavy makeup base. Make sure to use a nose strip so that your blackheads are off, or you can use steam, and then you can take a bowl of really hot water and use the steam to open up your pores, and then take a towel, small towel, dip it in the water, squeeze it, take the water out, and with the warm towel gently rub on your nose, and it will unclog your pores and the gunk will come out. So that's a really affordable and good way to take the pores out too. While the bake is on, I'm gonna do the rest of my face makeup, which is, I'm looking very pale, which I don't like. I'm gonna be bronzing up my face and contouring my face. I'm doing quite a heavy contour on my face today to go with the heavy makeup. But make sure, if you don't know the techniques or how to do it, don't do an unblended contour. Like, see how it looks unblended? You're gonna have to go with a little by little products and blend it all in. And if you're not really good at contouring, I would suggest just using a bronzer and not the contour, because the contour will look muddy and gray if you don't know how to blend and if you are new to this. So I suggest you first go in with bronzing and learn where to put it and where not to put it, and then go in with contour. Now I'm going to be contouring the top part of my forehead to make it look a little bit smaller. Like, see how it creates a shadow? That's what we want. For bronzing my face, I'm going to be using this shadow from Coastal Scent, which is in the shade Oktoberfest. I'm going to go gently because it's very pigmented, and I drop it. Thank God it didn't break. So I'm gonna take a light amount and of course tap off the excess and just go bronze off my face. The last thing to do for the base to stay very full coverage is to use a very long lasting setting spray, and the best setting spray I have seen is this Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. There is no other setting spray on the market that is better than this. I would suggest this and the Skindinavia, I think it's Skindinavia or Skindinavia setting spray. The bridal one is really good too, so I would recommend using those. So I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup and be right back. Alright guys, the rest of my makeup is done and I'm happy with the eye look. I'm really happy with how the cut crease has turned out. It's one of the cleanest I've ever done, so yes, I'm happy with that. Now back onto the base product. So I finished off the rest of my makeup and went in with the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray, and I sprayed it liberally all over my face, covering my eyes, because if you get too much into the eyes it will start bleeding out. After spraying down my face with the Urban Decay spray, I took this sponge and tapped onto my face where the spray was to push it down onto my skin, and that will make sure the spray got into my skin, and it will increase the longevity of my makeup. Also, if you want a little bit more glowiness, you can spray it on your face for one last time, like I'm doing right now. So that's it for today's videos, guys. I hope you learned something and you enjoyed something about the base makeup, and it will ensure your longevity. If you like this video, do put a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment down below. Your suggestions are always very helpful. And that's it. See you guys on the next one. Bye.